You really are whooping the head, aren't you, Naruto?
I thought at least.
But I remember
We were all
after and then coincidentally.
Darius! Don't say it like.
After I heard, so I immediately led.
But the door wouldn't open. And when that happened, and not just that, her body was taped to a pillar.
That's when we heard the body discovery announcement.
And so
When we removed the hemp bag, just as we feared.
Thank you. I understood it very easily.
Well, it's clear what the problem with this case is.
Wait, how do I know? Sorry. Then you obvious. Do you think you? Come on.
I get a feeling it's still lying.
Hajime's testimony is clearly suspicious.
if Hajime's testimony is a lie, then the fact that Ibuki hung herself.
That would also be a lie.
I don't think I can deny that possibility. After all, Hajime is the only witness.
Why would Hajime lie?
Well, obviously because he's the killer.
Did Hajime kill both of them?
The fact that the bodies were imitating the movie.
Nope. I'm
No,
Jack.
that's wrong.
I'm Jack.
I'm not the killer. I mean, there's... Of course you're not. I already knew that.
Huh?
Before the incident, Hajime had...
Sorry, you're just trying
Each
to put everyone on the
Isn't
strings.
that right, Mom?
Yes!
Which means... Oh, well, since we're opening with your...
What a waste. Now, so this...
Yeah, I'm.
Like I said, the killer
You're
murdered
acting really
Kyoko.
suspicious.
So all we
How
gotta
do we
do,
know you're not the
Then let's
culprit?
act.
I could. That's why.
If...
If that's the case, the only suspicion, and that's you two. What the heck? The others all. Chiaki, Mikan, Hajime, and I all broke Gundam met up with Hajime. And if Akane and Nagi, there's enough.
Please...
Anyway,
Let me. Recharging.
the killer was still inside the music venue. By locking the door from the inside.
Nope.
No, that's wrong.
There's a lot of clues pretty much denies your theory.
Wait a second. There's also a possibility that
From the outside.
it was a semi-transparent glob stuck.
Semi-transparent glob. Like rubber, maybe?
I see. Semi-transparent glob. Must have been blue.
Yeah, I think... It had a firm gel based on all that. I'm in no glue. I believe it is not some...
That glue was only applied to the areas where both doors touch by pouring it in the gaps of the
And thanks to that, a glob... But if you just stick the... That doesn't really matter. First of all, didn't that... It was so obvious.
Are you saying the drumstick? Then I.
Apologize to Miss Sonia and me. However, you're
In a quarrel, both sides...
So, during the 10 minutes Hajime
And they also taped her up at...
even quick work.
Aww.
If they couldn't have, they must have done it
Slow.
earlier than that.
That's a Pokemon.
Well, when Hajime got to.
And when you went back with everyone else, but it's
Wallpaper.
possible that the body was just revealed at that time.
Just...
Of course, the body was... Here, I have...
that scrap of paper.
That's right, but...
storage room. There should have been black wallpaper that's the same color. There was also a tear along the edge of the
See?
I see. So this, and what's wrong with that?
A mere note. But if you guys were exceptional enough...
Logically. Question 1. It was hidden. Question 2. Oh, thanks for that.
Got it!
But it wouldn't.
No, the body was all ripped. So when I first discovered Ibuki's body... However, because it was concealed within a slightly larger...
Well, that's understandable. I mean,
So they used the baton.
the baton...
Then,
That's how they hid Hyoko's body, and then peeled off the wallpaper.
but the killer made a mistake. They accidentally ripped off, and because of that.
Killer must have been in a hurry.
But going to the
The crime it... They just happened. Good point. It's about time we shed some light.
Are you kidding me? You have... Hey! You're pretty noisy.
I don't eat moss balls. I just enjoy looking at them. I knew it. There are so many.
Ibuki's death by hanging matches the Scarecrow's death from the... Not just that, but he...
It's as if both crimes were replicated.
But why did the killer go to all?
Based on what we know, I see.
He makes up the killing order.
The reason the killer imitated two of...
Then...
A valid lie.
Yeah, it's valid.
What do you mean? If it-
I'm not even crying.
I'll let you sob as much.
What a...
That would
And first, how can a low class...
because when Hyoko died, Ibuki's feet were on the floor.
I am telling you to present your evidence.
Did you see her walking?
If her feet were on the floor, was there any sign she stepped on something?
I agree
Indeed,
with
there
that.
was.
Just as Sonia said, that something was...
That is not Ibuki's, then it's Hyoko's.
Hyoko's only wound was a fatal slice on her neck.
If Ibuki stepped...
means Ibuki was still standing when Hyoko was mortared, which means Ibuki was still alive.
Don't underestimate the power of the evil eye. Does that mean you have a rebut?
You can shut up,
You're saying the blood on Ibuki's feet belonged to Hyoko? Ha! Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no blood on the floor.
Allow me to cut through those words.
I object to that. There was indeed.
That's not it. The reason there was no blood.
Don't say such.
Yes, I do. You look closely. There's a streak on the floor where...
When the killer tried to hide, he booped.
The reason they even if
Yoko's body was actually, aside from Miko, that's right.
The time of death wasn't mentioned in the Monokuma file, just to keep...
Yep. Since we have all this out, then it's decided. Yoko...
It appears that it is fine then. But regardless of good...
Can't you just shut up and...
Now then.
Wait
Exactly, I was hoping you was the culprit, so...
Again?
Hey,
you
The
just
same
get
as
fucking
always.
killed.
Think about it. A suicide means you've... Unfortunately, that means there's no blood.
Nagito? What?
well, I mean, for example, it's possible Ibuki... That's totally impossible! Then she was afflicted by the despair...
But if Ibuki's the killer, after Hajime saw the killer had to be alive at...
Then she was a... When Hajime first... If she waited until
she hanged herself. Remember? There's no fuck.
And if she was going to... Her body would have been defenseless in that state.
There's no doubt that someone...
What the heck?
If Ibuki did commit...
Fourth?
I don't know anything.
Don't say it all. So then our plan is to just... Since Hajime has seen the video,
It's a cheap-ass surveillance...
then the video...
What time?
I saw it at the hospital, right before... And I saw the body at the music theater.
And since we established that Hiyoko was... That means the time that the murders...
Then we just have to... Now then, I shall issue my decree.
We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the others?
Right before the morning announcement, I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
I think everyone at the motel was doing that.
So everyone who stayed at the motel doesn't have an alibi.
What about you guys?
I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
That's not an alibi.
Aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then...
No, that's
That is
wrong!
incorrect.
Hold on. Not... In fact, Mikan and I both have...
You two...
Up until I saw that hanging video, Mikan...
We even...
Hey!
I act too much in...
Yeah, it's not like that. She just came to...
And we went to the hospital. I get it.
If that's the case,
It's better if we... The killer decided to falsify the murder scene.
So it's inevitable that an alibi for both before...
It feels like...
But... Committing... Faking the time... Was that the only reason?
Are you saying...
I feel really... I think the killer had a completely...
I'm Monami! Everyone...
The reason the killer did an imitation murder is a reason other than falsifying the murder sequence. Does something like that even exist?
It suddenly got quiet. Did I confuse you?
If so, I wish you'd dive yourself up.
This again.
Man,
If
again.
that's the case,
That's the case,
it would have been
I
just
understand
dandy
it.
if they had... If that happened, the imitation would have been...
Well, it's against the rules to kill 3 people.
That rule is too harsh. Seriously, just
But I'm thinking about it again.
Because they didn't kill 3 people like the...
But Hyoko's body was suspended by... If falsifying the murder sequence, they should have taken steps.
But if we never realized it was a half-assed imitation, they're entitled.
What are you trying to say? Are you...
I'm saying...
What?
Hyoko's murder. What is it, Sam?
I understand that it's not just the poor strange deep, like, for...
Why did Hyoko...
So, you're saying the truth behind...
I have no freaking clue. However, this is getting quite...
Why did Hyoko go to the music venue? There's no way he'd know that!
Maybe the killer summoned her.
If that's not it, maybe she got abducted by the killer.
Oh,
No,
I thought you were
maybe.
gonna say abducted by agents.
She went of her own free will.
I agree
I
with that.
just want to confirm that with the case.
It's just as Sonia said. She went to the...
So,
If no one called for her, then...
Hyoko locked herself in her room because she was... I don't think a person like that would leave their room.
There's no way Hyoko locked the room she was staying in before she went out.
If she was forcibly taken from her room, there's no...
The killer could have locked her door, right?
That would make sense.
Then they couldn't have hidden her room key that deep in her kimono. Otherwise, there's no point... At the time, you were the one...
I won't move. Are you saying this? No, shut up!
Oh, shut up already. I already made my point.
Hyoko was locked inside her room, right? She definitely got abducted or something. The killer forced their way into Hyoko's room and forcibly abducted her. The girl is so small and weak looking, and that's why the killer targeted her. Hyoko was locked inside her. She definitely got abducted. The killer forced their way into Hyoko's room and forcibly abducted her. The girl is so small and weak looking, and that's why the killer targeted her.
Advance.
Hyoko's room was locked. The key was deep inside her kimono, remember? It's more likely that the killer was the one who locked the door.
So what if the key was in her kimono? Maybe the killer just put it there later.
I can't back down!
Hyoko was locked inside her. She definitely got abducted or something. The killer forced their way into Hyoko's room and forcibly abducted her. The girl is so small and weak looking, and that's why the killer targeted her.
But Hyoko's room was locked.
The key was deep in... It's more likely that the killer was the one who locked the door. So what if the key was in her kimono? Maybe the killer just put it there later.
I can't back down!
Hyoko was locked inside her room, right? She definitely got abducted. The killer forced their way into Hyoko's room
How many times you say
forcibly
you're not-
abducted her. The girl is
you're not
so
making
small
the
and weak
point.
looking, and that's why the killer targeted her.
But Hyoko's room was locked.
The key was deep in... It's more likely that the killer was the one who locked the... So what if the key was in her kimono? Maybe the killer just put it there later.
I can't back down!